what that means. I was
Yeah.
just explaining it to you.
All right, we are live on the Otter's Dead Cool and Groovy Things with Joni and Keith. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining in. I'm gonna go over here and get this shared out quick. Joni, how'd your weekend go?
My weekend was excellent. I
Nice.
was just, they're too fast. It was a holiday weekend. It went by too fast.
Oh, I hear you there. I do. Mine,
But
mine flew.
you work on the weekends though. So
Saturdays, just a half a day, so it wasn't too bad.
it was quiet. It was really I've been kind of quiet. I haven't been doing a lot of murders, and I'm just like waiting for everything to calm down at the end of January, then kick back into things.
Yeah,
I think it's a good idea. It's a good planning time.
yeah. Break never hurts. Let your mind, regroup, get fresh thoughts, fresh ideas. It's a good thing to do.
Well, and it's hard when people are, what's going on, what's happening, what's going on, and it's hard to get away from everyday life.
Absolutely.
The way things look, maybe by the end of January, we will start to go back to. I'm not going to say new normal because we're not ever going to go back to where we were.
No.
Um, it's not going to happen, and so I guess a semblance of normal, maybe.
That works.
We got to look forward to all the new technological stuff, the stuff going on in space, all that Aquarian energy. It's lighter for me. Is it lighter for you?
It's getting that way. I had kind of a heavy weekend. I had like we were talking about earlier, communication. I was overwhelmed by it. My phone was going off all the time. And I was in a place where I just needed to sit back and work on myself. I had some stuff going through, some stuff coming up. Planets bring stuff up. Hey, you missed this. We need to work on this weekend. Okay? Yeah. Okay. The body was processing downloads. Sunday, I slept off and on all day and all night. I mean, my body shut down. It's like, no, you're done. Spirit said, you're going to rest. I'm going to make you rest.
Good.
But I had to throw out like a blanket statement. It wasn't against anybody in particular, but empaths, Scorpios, no offense to anybody, we don't like small talk. We don't want to listen, message for 2 hours about your new shoes. Great, you got new shoes. Glad you like them. I'm done. Okay, I'm happy for you. I'm doing this, I'm thinking about this. Great, and then it just goes ding, 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 ding. And it's overwhelming sometime. And I just want to throw my phone, but I don't. I just, hey, gotta go, try to be nice. But I had to throw out a Facebook statement that, hey, if you need help, great, I'll help you. But other than that, I need a break from all this. With all the tension going on out there, I'm feeling that. It's kind of heavy. It's the energy is changing. The energy is getting lighter out there. But for me, it's kind of a heavy spot right now. So I'm just kind of dealing with that. Lisa, Madonna, Doug Lyons, Heather, Sherry, how you doing? Thanks for popping on. Sorry, I got to rambling and I wasn't paying attention.
Well, you are a fixed sign. You're in there with Taurus. You're a fixed sign. Cardinal signs, which are the beginning of every season, had it rough the last 3 years with Aries, because you have Aries. Fixed signs right now, which are your ones, they're kind of stubborn and they like what they do. They really don't like change.
No.
And Earth people, this is very bothersome time because They're used to their regimen. They're used to their schedules, and damn, it's you just got to let this. When it does, it like for air signs right now, it's lighter. Cardinal signs, I know. To me, it's like this big weight is off of me.
Yeah. I'm water and fire, and I boil. So
Well, you have a cardinal and fixed, so you're pulling.
I've never liked change. It's always taken almost a traumatic event in order to get me to step out of my familiar zone, aka comfort zone. Um, I mean, something major has to happen. Lately, I've been doing it more and more on my own. I'm taking a new show on with Howie here pretty soon. Not going to mention anything about it yet. Um, I stepped up and asked Tommy Bull, a Hollywood director, hey, you want to come on my show? He did. Yay. I pulled it off. I was happy with myself. That was a proud moment for me. I know Tommy. I met him a couple years ago at the Lincoln Paranormal Conference up in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we kind of hit it off. So he's a pretty good guy. So yeah, he did me that solid, and that was pretty cool to talk to him again. It was fun. It was fun. But just stepping out of my comfort zone and having somebody of that stature, it was amazing for me.
Right?
It's getting easier to step out of my little zone here. I've got my den, my cave, my cobra cave, my scorpion cave here. That I get off work and I come home, and this is where this is my home. This is my spot. This is where I like to be.
From now until the 13th, we're in what's called a triple trine, which is pretty unusual. And it's got Jupiter and Saturn with it. Opportunities are phenomenal the first couple weeks. Like you'll see a lot of new projects. Everything's going to fit into place. Sometimes with Jupiter though, it's like, okay, think about it, but it's big. It'll just show up. It's like Santa Claus. But then, I mean, you'll see this, and like with Howie and Aquarius, it'll explode.
That's what we're hoping. That is what we're hoping, that it's really going to take off and fly.
Give, give it till end of January because January is just from the 9th on till the 23rd. It's every single day. But I think after we get past that hump, we're done for the year.
Yeah, it's a huge shift. The energies of last year, and then all that astrological just kind of got refreshed. With the conjunction, and now we're starting over, and it's different. We're used to retrograde after retrograde after retrograde. This one's retrograde with this one and this one and this one and this one and this one, all retrograde at one time, and your mind and your spirit and your body's going, what am I going to do now? What do I do? What do I do?
The
And
month of January is square month. We have so many squares. Squares are they're within 90 degrees of each other, and
okay,
they are butting heads. It's not like a conjunction where they're like dancing on top of each other. They're butting heads.
yeah,
And we've got a couple nasty ones that like you're gonna laugh with Uranus, that they will shock, they will be rebellious. Have you noticed how much more rebellious people are being? Like there's flash mobs going into CVS without masks.
yeah. Just people's comments on Facebook. It's it's nuts, and you can be sitting there trying to have a polite conversation about something, and by God, if you don't believe exactly what they believe, they blow a gasket and they go off, and it's not. I just been okay. Have a great day, and I don't go back to that conversation. I finally gotten to that point. Used to be, 3 years ago, I before I took a break from politics, and got my help. I had files and folders of links and proof and everything because, by God, guess what? I had to be right. I had to be able to prove the point that I was making. Everybody wants you to prove your own point. You know what? I don't have to do that anymore. You want to know, you want the proof? It's out there. Go find it. Do the homework. Oh, why should I have to do your? It's not my homework. It's your homework if you want to know. I've already looked it up. I found it. It's your turn. Go look it up. It's out there. It's out there.
I kind of look at it this way: if people want to be misinformed, uninformed, don't drop to that level. And if they can't be informed and know what's going on, find out things on their own, don't waste your time.
Yeah, don't let them drag you down to their vibrational level because it can take a long time to get yourself back up. And they will. They will drag you down. They will pull your energy out of you and use it against you.
Use the squares, use the Uranus, like what I hate to keep using like you and Howie as examples,
Oh, that's
but,
cool.
but to use you guys with a new project. You've got a couple new projects which they're going to happen. But with the squares, watching your words, and another thing, they're all with Mercury. Guess what Mercury is? Communication.
Yes, which is it's stalled. Communication is stalled right now. Um, but okay, I'll use the left and the right as an example. There is no communication. Everybody is at each other's throats. They are not comprehending what the other side is trying to say. Take the George's hearing on the election fraud, for instance. That guy, I can't remember what his name is, but he was so amazing. He had everything, every I dotted, every T crossed. He found everything. He laid it all out in front of everybody. There is no doubt in my mind, and I try to look on both sides. I was on city council. I had to do that. So I do try to look on both sides. That guy, he had everything. It's right there. There's so many different types of election fraud in that one state, in those two counties. It's crazy. And you can put that information right in front of people. Let them watch it. Let them listen to it. Let them see it. And they still call you a liar. And you're wrong. There is no fraud. No, dude, here it is. I'm giving it to you.
If the American people on either side cannot agree on what happened to um, all of us combined with our money going overseas when we have businesses shutting down, and that doesn't anger each and every one of us, there's something wrong. I don't care what side you're on. There are businesses that are failing, and we need to take care of our own. Period. I thought if anything can unite this country, that has to be it,
Yeah.
because you cannot see what was put in front of you. You're not paying attention, or you've got to look.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a term for it. It's almost like some kind of a mental condition. There's a scientific term for it, and I can't think of it right now naturally. And I'm not going to try because I don't want to get it wrong. But where these people are so convinced by the lies that they are afraid to see the truth. They are afraid to do any homework. They are afraid of the truth that you offer them because they're going to be wrong, and that's going to change their entire world to them, and they won't do it. So they set that mental block. Nope, I'm right. You're wrong. That's it. I'm done. You're a POS. Get out of my face. Okay, have a great day.
well, especially with the Mercury, as much Mercury that we've got going on right now, and at least through like the 13th of January. And then we go into Uranus, which is when we are going to get whacked,
Yeah.
like January 13th to the 23rd. But with all this Mercury, the best thing to do is respect everybody's opinion. It's not going to always be your opinion. Your ideology might not be somebody else's.
Right.
And, you know, because all of these are squares. Um, There's one right after the other with communication. It is really butting heads. Now, from the 9th to the 11th, we have phenomenal good stuff going on. The 9th to the 11th. Um, you just got to watch your words. Everybody be respectful of everybody else and their opinion, and you will get through all of these Mercury transits. Communication. If you want to write a book, publishing a book right now until the 13th, it's a great time to do it. Publish, write, anything with communications, radio shows. Um, get them going because this is great timing that'll lead you into the year. This is
Absolutely. That's one thing I plan on doing this week. After tonight and tomorrow night is sitting down and getting back on my book. I put it off for far too long. There were reasons. Spirit said, no, not yet. You got to learn this. Not yet. You got to learn this. Okay, now go sit down and write.
it's perfect for that. Like study it. That's all I have done is study. You know, I did that like with the Nashville bombing. I'm like, I got to study this.
Mhm.
And I mean, I looked up every degree, every aspect, every transit, and I'm like, no, you cannot and will never convince me that a lone person did this because I looked at the astrology and the transits that went on at that time. No,
Yeah,
sorry.
Lynn Wood touched on that in that interview that I posted today. He touched on the bombing on that. He's like, he's with you. No, there's no way it happened like that. No way.
Well, I looked at the astrology chart and the transits and how they went and
Yep.
how I mean, and I studied it, and I'm a firm believer in it. I've seen it too many times work and be accurate.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
But I posted. I was afraid.
It's all up there. It's all up there in the stars. If you pay attention, it's going to tell you what's coming, what's going to happen. You know, if you look at next week's, you're going to know if something major is going to happen. You know.
You know, and it's funny to watch that happen because, especially with the rebellious energy and like the flash mobs, I didn't know there were maskless flash mobs.
Yeah.
There are now, and people just they run in and tear their masks off and run up and run around the stores. It's kind of funny, but um,
They're tired of the restrictions. They're tired of being masked. They're tired of their identity being stolen. You know, nobody can see your face. You don't have an identity. You feel like nobody, you know. And they're just tired of it. You know, they're tired of their stores being closed. They're tired of everything about the last year. We got 2 days. 2 days. Tomorrow's the 5th, then comes the 6th. The 6th, it's going to be terrible out there. It's going to be terrible on social media. It's going to be terrible tomorrow too. But the 6th, it's going to be horrid. So watch yourselves. If you start getting enraged and get your balance, your vibration lowered, jump off, shut it off, shut your phone off, shut your computer off, shut the TV off, shut the news off, and just hope and pray that it goes whichever direction you want it to go.
but you know what? I think there's going to be a delay. I don't think things. There are really good aspects on the 6th. The new moon. It's really it's a quarter moon. It's good aspects, but I think it'll go smooth and timely, and I think there will be no arguing. I think it's going to be these are my facts, these are your facts. I don't think we're going to know anything until the 8th.
And that's very possible, because if they object and it goes to hearing, that's going to take time. The evidence is going to have to be presented. That's going to take time. But everybody out there is not going to understand that, and they are expecting an answer on the 6th. So when that doesn't come, all hell is going to break loose.
I think on the 8th, it's tests and challenges with Mercury squaring Mars. I don't see it until then. So but the 9th through the 13th, watch your communications. Then we go into like Uranus, Uranus. Uranus goes direct.
What are we going into?
Uranus is in retrograde. It's going backwards. The 13th through the 23rd, you just be fluid. Because every day there is a different aspect. 17. You know what? Uranus looks like sudden change.
Change. We need a lot of change. Individual change, group change, human collective change. We need a lot of change. A lot.
It's coming. It's the 26th is the day that the radical change really hits.
Yeah.
There's 3 of those squares this year that we have to go through. January, June, and December, and that's it for the year. That's it.
You know, this just kind of fits exactly what you were saying a little bit ago. See if I can do this. Yeah, there we go. Uranus is a rebellious planet that rules over things like sudden change, bursts of inspiration, and forward-thinking innovation. You nailed it, girl.
It's a great planet if you like that kind of stuff. You like shocking change. These are radical changes that are coming on the 26th. We also, and I'm not that smart with, I don't know what a Bitcoin is. You probably know what a Bitcoin is. I don't know what Bitcoin is.
It's electronic currency, I believe.
I've read about it with Uranus and Taurus, which is our money. Look for that in the next. We got some money shifts going on too, with economic stuff as a country. So I don't know if that Bitcoin is it. It's going to be new currency.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but
there's quite a few different types of electronic currency out there now. Bitcoin, I believe, was one of the original ones. I haven't kept up on that kind of stuff. I'm not interested in it. I should probably do a little more homework on it, but I haven't yet. It's very possible that that takes off even more because we don't know what's going to happen in our economy this year, and people are looking for ways to take their cash out of the banks and put it into something else. In fact, that's one thing I've been doing. I've been putting enough into the bank out of my check to pay my household bills. I pay my household bills right away, so it comes out and my cash is in my pocket. Just in case anything does get, frozen during a blackout, I've still got access to my cash.
What's funny? I was thinking about that, and then I read a story in the New York Post about Venezuela going to the one money, like with England, and everybody wanting to do one money.
Mm-hmm.
What that is, but they're announcing it. I don't think the United States would go to something like that. I would sure to hell hope not.
There was talk of a one world currency along with a one world government. The two separate things, and then combined. I don't feel that would be a good idea. But some kind of normalcy has to be nailed down. Balanced with how much the Australian dollar is compared to the American dollar. It's fluctuating so much right now. It's hard to keep track, especially with them being shut down, us being shut down, the stock market has skyrocketed. Well, that's big tech. That is big tech. Some of it's doubled. Billionaires of the world, in the United States have, some of them have doubled their amount that they're worth over the last year. And that's crazy why everybody else, the small businesses, are just crumbling. And it's sad. And hopefully something happening up there will change something drastically and turn it around. Maybe get some more balance there. I'm hoping, I'm praying, maybe some of that money will be, the galaxy will say, hey, you know what, guess what? Now, the small business is going to get some of this, get these businesses back open.
Uranus is freedom. It is a freedom-loving, radical planet. It's an Aquarius. They love their freedom. The Aquarians show this. It's a freedom-loving, very rebellious, and it's just going to be the theme of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I would just, I'm going to look at the money more. Taurus also includes shelter. It includes your home, your shelter, your money. I will look more into it and we'll figure it out. But for now, we ride through January because we do have some radical changes coming. Again, with the Capricorn in the 10th house, or not 10th house, but with Capricorn in the government, the old ways are going to crumble. It's crumbling, and all I can.
It wasn't working. It needs to be, the system needs to be revamped and maybe taken back to its original setting.
It's going back there with the return. It's going, and people that have Pluto is out there, and it's bringing up everything. Those people, they're done. It's like I see these old people in there, and I'm like, please retire and let the young people come in with their new ideas. They're innovative. These young people get them in there.
Yeah. Shelley says, strong indication we might go to a silverback currency and get away from the elite banker or their money systems. Exactly.
That's coming.
Word is that the Federal Reserve has already been audited, and Trump was wanting to go to a gold-backed system again, but silver could be maybe a gold and silver-backed, because that's how it was. You have X amount of dollars out there in circulation, you have X amount of gold in one place to cover that. And I feel that's the way it needs to go now, because printing money out of thin air, it ain't working. We're borrowing money from China to cover debts, and they're taking property and stuff. They own so much of the United States, it's crazy right now. Look it up.
Done. It's done. You know what? I mean, for people to think that what the old government was, because that's where the Capricorn and the Saturn and the Pluto and everything played out last year. What we saw go through last year and what was churned up and brought out, maybe we didn't see it. We're going to see it. It's done. It's crumbling. Just be flexible to change. Because this silverback money, like Michelle was talking about, is exactly where this can happen.
Yeah.
So, the days of when I saw that stimulus package, I looked at it and intuitively it was like, this is the last time. I don't know what that meant. I heard it. This is the last one.
I'm sure it is. I don't
know what's coming, but I'm listening to Spirit when I said I was so damn mad because my friends that have businesses are struggling, but yet we're giving money to Lebanon and God knows where for gender studies or whatever that was.
Iran, I think.
Who fucking knows? But when I saw that, it was This is the last time. Don't worry.
Yeah. And I really get Trump and others not wanting to pass that bill. Granted, it would delay everybody getting their stimulus, granted, but it would take all of that pork, all that faulty spending, sending it all to these other nations for fraudulent crap, because it's not going for gender studies in Iran. Because if you're gay and you admit it, guess what? You're done. It's that needed to be removed from that bill.
It's
But
lobbyists.
the Democrats pushed it. A lot of the Republicans pushed it. We got to get people their money. Okay, yeah, we do. But it would have been very easily to rewrite that bill, remove that extra spending, give the 2000 like Trump wanted to do, and push it through. But nobody would communicate. Nobody would comprehend. Everybody just pointed fingers and played the blame game. And here we sit. They're starting to send out the 600. If they pass the 2000, then that will be sent out. The difference will be sent out later. But personally, me, if I don't get it, I don't care. I've been working. I'm okay. I was fortunate enough to be in an industry that stayed open. We were deemed essential. I've had an income this whole time. If I don't get a stimulus, I don't care. I ain't gonna whine and cry about it. Give it to Joe down the street. He needs it. I don't care. If it comes, great. I'm indifferent about it. I think anybody over X amount of income that has been keeping their income, and they can tell by who's been paying the taxes. If you've had that income, I don't feel you should get it. If you haven't had income, then yeah, you need a little help. But everybody is being so greedy now. It's my money and I want it now. You see those memes all the time on Facebook, and well, it is your money. You did pay. You pay taxes for it, but in a way, it's not, because they're printing it out of thin air. It's fiat cash. So I'm at a loss of words for the amount of hostility out there, when it's very understandable why Trump wanted them to remove that spending. And they do it every year. We do this every year to keep the government running. And he's tried to get it out. And it hasn't been happening. So he demanded this time, and it didn't happen again. It went through. Guess what? Guess where that money's going? It's not good.
No, it's not going to change. Therefore, it is coming. There's no stopping it. I looked. Be flexible, positive, be flexible, and especially between now and then, until the 1st through the 14th, it's free. Watch communications. I mean, it's radical changes at the end of the month. Like with any energy, it doesn't hit at once, but Uranus does. This is a planet that I hate to say this, it will just be bam. So it's coming.
Full on forehead smack. Here, have this change. Okay.
People need to understand that we're one country, and whatever change is happening is for the good. Whatever changes are occurring, the rest of the year is excellent. But we do have a lot of changes to undergo, and a lot of those have to do with the banking and finances.
And it needs to be changed. A lot of people won't be happy about it at first, but it's going to be a good thing for everybody. I think change takes time to get used to. Nobody likes change. Nobody likes to change because we're used to it. It's comfortable. It's familiar. It's how we've done things. And once you change things and you got to get used to something different, your way of thinking has to change. Your way of doing things has to change. That means you have to change. And most people don't want to change themselves. You really have to go through a lot in order to step back and look at yourself and say, oh, wow, yeah, I need to work on that. And it might be greed, or it might be jealousy over this guy who's got a, 2020 Cadillac sitting in his driveway while you got an 87 Mazda that's rusted out. Well, guess what? He's worked for it. You've worked too. It's just you went on two different paths. Maybe tomorrow something will change and you'll be offered a better job so you can get a better car. Ask the universe. The universe isn't going to give you a better car, but it's going to give you the opportunity to possibly get a different job in order to save up and buy yourself a better car. The universe will give you, spirit will give you the tools and the opportunities. It is up to us individually to accept those tools and opportunities, step out of our comfort zone, accept that change, and do the work.
With this energy and the change that we had, like what we've got at the end of the month, it happened 50 years ago. But
Man,
just be open for the change. Get ready for the radical change. I know I'll look more into the money part of it. But when she said that about the silver, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I think people when they realize that we together are a force as opposed to all of our money being sent overseas, when our people are hurting, if that doesn't make us unite, I don't know what can.
If it doesn't, there may not be a whole lot that can. And if it comes to that point, which I pray it won't, I don't think it's going to, but you're going to have some skirmishes here and there. I hate to say that, but Shelley's right. It all starts with changing ourselves. We're not going to change the way our country works, the way the human collective works, unless we change ourselves individually. Think of an ant colony. Each one of those, or a beehive. Each one of those bees has a job to do, and if that bee doesn't do its job, the whole colony can collapse. The human collective is kind of the same way. If we don't do our job, do our shadow work, grow as a person, raise our vibration to raise the human collective vibration, everything collapses. Look at the Romans, all these failed civilizations from, ancient times. What was about 200 years they had the reign? That's about where we are. We're at that pivotal point. Pluto returns. Pluto is all about truth coming out, secrets.
The hidden. What we talk about is Pluto, the hidden. And if it's a rough. We have our first conjunction, I think, with the Pluto return in February, and it starts and coming off of the rebellion. It doesn't necessarily mean a revolution, but it could. The energy is that way. It could be that way. But that's why I think people should respect other ideologies when we talk, especially with all these Mercury squares, because they will end up in just arguments, and it's not worth it.
No, it's not. It's wasted energy, and it lowers everybody's vibration, and it makes everybody miserable. And I won't put up with it. That a prime example is I tried New Year's Eve about 10 o'clock. I figured, you know what? I haven't been out and about for a long time. I'm going to go down to the local bar. It's like 10 blocks from me. I can walk home in 10 minutes. Go down there, talk to, see if a couple of my friends are there that I haven't talked to. I'm going to go out and I'm going to people. I'm going to try to enjoy myself, instead of sitting here, pigeonholed in my cave. And the minute I walked in, right in my face, I tried to be polite. Eventually, I just put my hand up and said, you know what? I got to go over here. And I walked away. I didn't feel bad about it. I used to feel bad about doing that stuff. But you know what? You're taking away my peace. No. So I went and, I needed to talk to somebody about their car that it broke down. I scanned it for them. So I needed to let them know what the codes were. Let them know that. Had a beer. Went out back, sat by myself in the cold. mellowed, found my balance, went back inside. I lasted an hour and 15 minutes, and I had to come home, stand in the driveway, let the wind blow over me for a little bit to get the negativity off of me. It was crazy. It was nasty. It was loud. There was so much communication going on, but nobody was understanding anything that anybody was saying. They weren't paying attention to anybody. They were laughing and joking, but they didn't know what they were laughing and joking at. And I'm sitting here looking at this. I'm like, this used to be my way of life. How did I do that? Oh yeah, there was something else in here. Well, that ain't my life anymore. And if you think about it, society is kind of like that right now. Everybody's just yelling and screaming, and nobody's understanding anything about what they're yelling and screaming about.
Well, that's especially the first 2 weeks of January is very, very important. You respect and state your opinion, stick with what you feel, but respect other people. The ideologies are it's going to get very heated.
Yeah.
And I, hopefully it won't go, it can go, energies can go one or two ways. But if you work on yourself and you don't, drop to the level of name calling, or I mean, that's like that, it's ignorant, and it just lowers the people around you and yourself.
Yeah. And the longer that conversation, I'll say conversation, goes on, the worse it gets. The more energy you put into it, the lower it gets. And then boom, it explodes, and friends aren't friends anymore when all they had to do is sit down and have a conversation like we are. Okay, you don't think like I do. That's okay. This is why I think like this. This is why you think like you do. Okay, great. Let's talk about fishing. And nobody can do that. It's very well. I'm not going to say nobody. Some people can. I can have political conversations with some people, and others I won't even bring it up. It's like, no, don't think so. I know better.
It's a matter of respect. I do, and this shift of energy is huge. And a lot of times when people don't understand what's happening with energy shift, they're running around in there. They're not focused. They feel like they're out of sorts. You don't know what's going on. I mean,
They don't understand why these emotions are being brought up. Hello, Mercury's in retrograde. You got stuff you haven't worked on yet. That's why this is bringing this up for you. You're not understanding it, so you're trying to block it and keep from seeing that thing that happened to you when you were 6 years old. That you're supposed to be bringing up and sorting out and working out and getting out, releasing. So they're using all this in order to mask it. I did the same thing. And if they just sit back, I mean, it's being in lockdown has helped so many people do that. It really has. But so many other people need to do it as well. Jeff, there was collapse of the economic system worldwide, and the critter epidemic helped to mask it. It did. It did. The system has crashed, and they're rolling in new money, but it's being done quietly. He's not wrong, not one bit. He's 100% correct. It's being done behind the scenes, so America doesn't panic due to the change. Everything that our president has been doing has been quietly behind the scenes, so America does not panic. This coming year, maybe the next, I wouldn't be surprised if there is some evidence of our friends from other places being forwarded once all this gets calmed down and reset. Truth coming out. There's been rumors of it, so that could be quite interesting. I'm really interested if that happens. I can't wait.
we knew that was coming because of this Aquarian energy with space and UFOs. And if you have not seen anything yet. When you start to get into this energy with Aquarian energy, here come the spaceships, here comes the UFOs. I've never seen one. I don't know a whole lot about them, but they're coming, or they're going to be seen.
I've got this little thing in my thumb, right about there. It's the doctors don't know what it is. It's not bone, it's not wood, it's not metal, it's not plastic. They can tell me everything that it isn't, but they can't tell me what it is. And that's after an episode of missing time, after my truck started missing going down the road, and I ended up in a completely different place with no memory about an hour later, about 10 miles down the road. So yeah, is that so they can find me later and take me home? If so, turn it on. I'm here.
You know, there's a lot of similar stories like that that occur that I've seen. They're coming out. It'll be out with this with what's going on. We've actually, it was so historic what we went through. You can't emphasize how historical that Christmas star was. That
Yeah, it was, in my opinion, it was a gift from the universe to assist us in resetting. We need to turn everything off and turn it back on and see if it works. Turn the computer off, take the cover off, do some tweaking, put the cover back on, turn it back on, see if everything runs better. That's what we need to do. And Jeff's got a good point here. We didn't have 5 billion to build a wall, but we have over 700 billion to give to the rest of the world.
That's right. People are pissed. Young people. I talk to a lot of young people. I talk to a lot of snowflakes and a lot of millennials because of, card reading and tarot and astrology, and they're into it. It's a generational thing.
Yeah.
And the young people are very disillusioned right now because they saw that they're like, why is our money going here? Why answer their questions, be respectful to these young people because they are very upset about this. They think they should have been taken care of, and their people and the businesses. And that's our generation coming up.
Yep.
And I think people need to realize that our young people are very disillusioned right now. You don't be surprised, with this energy with Aquarius, if a third political party doesn't hatch out of this either. It would not surprise me.
It's very possible. There's more parties out there that may end up growing. The Libertarian Party. I was actually the first Libertarian to get elected in Nebraska by the biggest margin in Nebraska. I kind of made history that year and helped to get the Libertarian presidential candidate onto the presidential ticket without having to go through and get all the signatures and everything. So kind of proud of that. As a delegate at the convention, that was kind of fun. But I'm out of politics. Done. I'm out. It's not for me anymore. I was a different person then when I got into it, and I can't do that crap anymore. What the dates you were saying earlier, Joni? Jeff Presley said January 18th is going to be a fun day. You were talking that's right in a group of days you were talking about, isn't it?
What's the 18th? Oh God!
Mentioned that, or a group of days where the 18th was included in it.
It is. You've got Jupiter squaring Uranus, which is sudden change. Although with Jupiter, it's big opportunities. That's like proceed with caution. The 20th, Mars is squaring Uranus too. That means it's erratic behavior. Right in between that is some really big squares. Huge.
Yeah. I don't think January is going to be a cakewalk by any means. We may have some periods where it's nice and smooth and everything flows. We may have some periods where everything blows up. But like you said, we're going to get some chances. The universe is going to say, hey, you've done a lot of work. Here's this opportunity for you. And it's up to us to take that. If not, we're going to get stuck where we are, and it's not going to help anything.
There are opportunities where you have opportunities and you have things like this happen. Radical change brings on great positive change. By the 23rd, we should be starting to calm all of this down.
5, 23rd, 2 and 3. That's 5. That's change.
things, the sun conjuncts Saturn, that's bringing things into a structure. So whatever, we see coming out of everything, I, I really believe a third. I think that this is the year with this kind of rebellious nature of radical change, people wanting change, people calling out for it. It could happen.
Yeah, and Jeff's not wrong here. The Democratic Party is going to lose a lot of steam and influential authoritative power when everything comes out, and those people end up in Gitmo, which is already happening. It's just nobody knows.
Well,
Check out the
when I
flight
looked
logs.
at in August last year, they've got some Uranus things that absolutely. I said it, I need to look at their chart again. It was a lot more intense than actually the Republican Party chart. The Democrat Party chart absolutely showed a split. It showed a split. So I don't know what that means. It's splitting. Now I don't know if it's going to be two parties. I don't know, but there's a definite split coming. That was back in August. I need to look at that again.
Yeah, it's going to get very interesting. There's going to be some Republicans that go down too. Don't get me wrong, but there's going to be a lot more of the left that goes down when this is all said and done. I'm looking forward to this. I really am. I'm looking forward to getting the information that I've been looking for and seeking, to seeing how this plays out. I'm calling Trump. I am calling Trump right now. Sorry if you don't like it, but he's got a kraken back there. He's going to let loose. There's some talk about some stuff. It's conspiracy, but maybe somebody's still alive and has a lot of stuff on a lot of people. And that would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool to see what happens with that. We know his girlfriend's still alive and has stuff, so she's kind of been off the radar for a while. Where's she at? You were talking about Hunter Biden's diary earlier.
It just was released. My friend just sent me a bunch of the pages of it. It was just released.
That's not very nice stuff in there either.
Well, it beats the pictures.
Yeah, he didn't kill himself. Linwood even stated he's still alive. So some people are thinking that Linwood is going batshit crazy. Other people are thinking he's telling the truth because he can't keep it to himself anymore. He's got to do the right thing. So we're gonna find out pretty soon.
I have never believed he is dead. I've never thought he was dead. I've never believed it. It would not surprise me.
Yeah.
I think he's been hidden. I think he's been hidden. But
Yep.
Who's to say with that whole group of weirdos? I mean, those people are sick.
Yeah.
He's sick, and those people are sick.
I saw pictures of the ligature mark, and it's way down here. That would be somebody coming from around and doing this, not a hanging where it's pulling up. You'd have marks up here if it was a hanging, not down here. Your neck tapers this way, it's going to pull up.
Nothing.
Yeah. They didn't do a very good job with hiding the facts of that at all. I mean, it was kind of right in your face. The nose is, yeah, it's not, yeah.
But didn't they think a guy fell asleep? The guard fell asleep, or the camera didn't work, or then the roommate said they came and got him, and he never came back, and now the roommate is dead. The roommate just died.
3 newly elected
4
Republican candidates. Is it up to 4 now? All of a sudden, mysteriously died.
Well, that could be Pluto or something. That could be a transit.
Yeah, I'm feeling it's not. I'm feeling they were taken out for some reason. I don't know why.
I could look at it. I could look at one of their charts, but at this point, it's almost too scary to.
Yeah, I know. There is so much going on out there. I can't keep track of it. I can't. This morning, my phone started going off, and within 5 minutes, I had like 6 hours worth of videos, shot to me as I'm trying to get out the door to go to work. And if I'm at work, it may take me all day long to watch a 10-minute video because of customers and the boss. And by the time I get it done, I have no idea what I watched or what I heard because, of everything going on in between. So if you want me to see something, post it, tag me, and as I get time, I'll go through the notifications. Oh, they tagged me. Okay, now I have time to watch this.
Well,
It's I can't, I get overwhelmed, and then I still get nervous because I'm not responding to those people, and then I finally realize and remember that what, you don't have to.
that's
They
right.
saw it. Okay, I can respond to them later when I get time. Hopefully, they'll have patience and understand. But
Yes.
there's a lot of people out there that if I don't, if I'm not right there, oh my God, what did I do? Did I do something to you? No, I'm working. That's it.
Just know that between now and the 13th and the 14th, with all of this Mercury, and it's all it is Mercury, that's communication. So your phone is going to blow up. So just know now that it's going to happen. And so it's going to be like, I'm at work, I'll get back with you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
They get ticked off because I don't get back to them right away. That's their issue. It's not mine.
right, you're at work. People understand when you're at work. And, the squares, people will be edgy responding back to you. There's a damn square attached to it. So it's going to be like, I'm not mad. I'm at work.
Yeah. And Howie, there's no reason for anxiety or nervousness. You're right. However, I'm still getting personally used to this change in myself. Um, Allowing myself to have self-love, caring for myself, my mental capacity. Um, in the past, I always had to be there for everybody. I had to. That was who I was. Well, now I'm seeing that I don't have to be there for everybody, and sometimes I need to take time to myself. I have to be there for me. And a lot of people don't like that, but that's also helping to weed people out that probably don't need to be in my life. Um, so it's a transition. I'm finding my own balance, and I'll get there. It's just going to take time. I'm 51. I was that way since I was a kid. It was ingrained in me. So it's going to take a little while to get used to and finish that transition, but I'll get there.
And with shift into Aquarius too,
Yeah.
that's a good thing because with Aquarius, it's more of the collective. We are moving into where we're going to care more about, Aquarians are very humanitarians. That energy is very caring, it's very collective. It's very, I want to take care of the crowd. I want to be, make sure everybody's okay. And our society as a collective needs that energy. And we need it. We need it. You cannot help others if you're not taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
But we do need that energy. The earth kind of restrictive energy is to not go into people's space when it's just now you're going to see more people saying, "Hey, are you all right?" You're going to get a lot more of that. The
Yep.
Aquarius comes out and it's wonderful and we need it.
Yep. Yep. It is. And I understand totally. You're reaching out. Hey, how you doing? You okay? Yeah, I'm good. Okay. If I'm not, I'll either tell you or I'll say, got some stuff going on, but I'm okay right now. I'm just working through some stuff. If I choose to go into the detail with any said person, that's my decision. If I don't, I've generally I've got a very small circle who I really indulge anything of what my personal life has to deal with. My personal life isn't anybody's business unless I choose to put it out there. I put my past out, on my shows and stuff. I didn't used to be a good person. I used to steal, cheat, lie, what have you. Okay. Yeah. Guess what? I did it. Learn from it. Different person now. Help me learn, help me grow. But what I'm going through now, the changes I'm going through now, I'm still changing, and I'm going to be changing for the rest of my life and learning for the rest of my life. But some of the stuff I have to go through myself. If I don't choose to share it with anybody, don't get butthurt. There's stuff that you don't tell me. That's okay. I don't need to know. It's not my business. And that's one thing I've also learned is what Joe down the street thinks of me. It ain't my business.
No,
It
that's
ain't my business.
nobody. The selfies, the filters,
Thanks, Howie.
gone. That they're gone with Aquarius is not fake. That energy is not fake. There's um no, it's gone. It's almost like going back to the hippie age of being natural and um that you'll see it. It's a gradual thing. I love it. I can feel it.
Yeah,
But
I can too. It's just the transition with everything else out there. Once we get this January done, I think it's gonna start on an uphill climb slowly. But
and then like with the next week and the following week, just remember whatever you put out there is what you get back.
yes,
So name calling and calling people stupid and you're dumb and you're wrong and you're ignorant and you're this and you're that, or anything negative that comes out of your mouth, guess what it comes back to you as? Negativity.
negativity. Yeah, you lie to somebody, guess what? You're gonna get lied to, but probably 3 times worse. You steal from somebody, guess what? You're gonna get that back. You think poorly of yourself, you're gonna get even more of that. Your situation is gonna get worse. Words are spells. It's where you get the word spelling from. How you talk to yourself is just as important as how you talk to others. Um, you need to, I know you can't be positive all the time, but you need to try to think positively about yourself instead of, my shoulder being out, and all ripped to hell in here needing surgery. I'm like, well, you know what? I got this shoulder. I'm okay. I'm healing. And I'm not sick. I'm healing. I don't ever say I'm sick anymore. I'm like, I'm healing. I'm healing right now. I'm healing soul level. I'm healing physically level. That's important too, because the more you dog on yourself because of an injury, guess what? It's going to get worse. It's not going to heal. Um, Same way with how you think about yourself. You keep telling yourself that you're a POS. Guess what?
That's right.
Who are you going to be? If you tell yourself, I'm a good person, I want to change. I know I can change. I've got all, I may not have everything going for me, but I got a job. I got a roof. You know, I'm thankful for that. Be thankful. Be thankful. Let the universe know you're thankful for everything you have. Do it every day. Better things are going to come to you. I know it seems strange, but the more you do this, the more you're thankful for everything you have. The more work you put into things, the more the universe is going to say, "Hey, I like that. Here's a cookie."
Take energy as well. Start new projects, work on new things. Get the outline going, get the things going that you've always thought, well, I never thought I could do that, but you know what? Try it. It's super for this. It's good for
Yeah,
projects.
I never thought I'd have a show like this. I never thought I'd be on other people's shows. Never thought I'd get to know a Hollywood director personally. Never thought I'd write a book. Guess what? It's going slow, but I'm writing a book. Hopefully, I get that made into a screenplay and then maybe made into a movie. Funny how those connections happened for me as I did my work. As
That
I
book,
stepped out of my comfort zones, I was given a gift. Here, this is what you want to do. Here you go. I had written down, write a book, get it into a screenplay, make it into a movie so I can help more people. And Tommy knows screenwriters. He's a director. He wants to see my book when it's done. So if it's good enough, great. If not, I'll try again, but I got to try. I got to try.
perfect timing right now. This is a perfect opportunity to get those stuff going, get that stuff started.
Mhm.
Just, it's great timing, super timing for that. So you might as well use the Mercury squares to your advantage.
Yeah,
Courtney,
absolutely.
use them to your advantage. Just step back with your words. Just be mindful of your words and know that when there's squares out there, you can really just kind of snap. Trigger, watch or know your triggers.
Yes. And if you get triggered, guess what? It's not what the other person said. It's something inside you that triggered you. It's your trigger. You got to figure out why it triggered you. And that's the triggery. Oh, excuse me, tricky part.
You know, we got through an entire year last year.
Mhm.
I mean, since March on, it was like, oh my God, 2 more weeks. How much more can you tell people to try to hang in there and be grounded? And we'll get there. We'll get there. And I remember in March and April how long December felt. And then
Yeah,
December got here. Is that strange? It was here before we knew it. And
yeah,
we all made it through COVID. And we'll make it out of COVID.
yep.
Uh,
It it seemed like it took forever because of everything that was going on, but all of a sudden, guess what? It's gone. It was like a blink of an eye to me now. But during the process of getting through that year and everything that was thrown, at me and from within me, it was a very long, rough year. Um, yeah, I've gotten, happier and I'm better acquainted with myself. I needed last year. I needed 2020 to personally grow. I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for everything that was thrown at me because everything helped me see, understand, comprehend things about me and how I've dealt with things in the past even more, so that I can use that to as stepping stones, to get myself to a higher place.
when we couldn't go out, we couldn't do the things. I couldn't do shows. So it's like, okay, what did I learn? Did I study? Did I use my time wisely? How did I grow as a person?
Yep.
Did But then you look back and you think, what did I do? We have shows coming up this year. Hopefully, everything will be fine.
Yep.
But then you shift and you change and you get new studies and you get new areas. That has to continue.
Yeah.
You're meant just to come home and watch Netflix. You were not put here just to come home and watch shows on TV. And you got to get into that realization. Well, do you do that? Oh my
Sometimes when I get in a funk, I will sit on my couch and I will binge watch a show. I think right now I'm on Troy. But the funny thing is about every show that I picked out to watch, I have seen myself in those characters and they have taught me something about myself that I hadn't seen yet. And I'll be sitting here, twiddling my thumbs, thinking about what I should do. And all of a sudden the Xbox goes, dun dun. Okay, I'm going. That spirit said, you need to watch this episode. And by God,
God.
if there ain't a lesson in that next episode,
I
yeah,
mean,
can't think about it.
other opportunities to help people and do things, and you have the book, and now you have other shows.
Yep.
But I mean, I think it was a very reflective year.
Yeah.
That's what Saturn does to us. We reflect, it restricts. Now you've gotten your wings. You've got
Oh
your
yeah.
Aquarian wings,
Oh,
and
I
now
do.
let it rip.
That is one very big lesson I learned this year was using my time wisely. I have sat back and thought about how much time I have wasted, um, just sitting there doing nothing, not even watch TV. You get in a funk and you just sit there, until you can get yourself out of it. But generally, if you're there, there's something you're not seeing, and your spirit is saying, you need to learn this so you can go do this, so you can step out a little bit more and do what you're supposed to be doing. You need to learn. So let's go, let's grow. You get in that funk, that's your soul getting in that funk too. It's sad, it's depressed. It's like, come on, man, let's go. I want to go. Let's go. It's like, well, hang on, let me get it. And but was, as soon as you get yourself back out of it, then something good happens. It's how it works, at least for me.
This year is going to be a very
Thanks, Jeff.
fast year. It's going to be a lot. It's very fluid. It's not going to be like it was last year with Capricorn, Saturn energy. It's going to be a lot more fluid. You know what? It's going to be flowing and air. This is air. This is air. Get used to it.
Yeah, air, communication.
I was listening to a podcast and the girl described air energy as leaves in the fall that are constantly blowing. That's the energy of air. That's what you're in for the next 200 years. So we're stuck.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
stuck.
Air can be constructive. Windmills, energy, it can create energy. It can help us sail across the seas, or it can be destructive. It can knock down buildings. It can level towns. It can level people. The wrong words can level somebody, drop them to their knees. So watch your words. Don't speak out of spite. Don't speak to, what's the words I'm looking for? I've got a little saying and I can't find it. Listen to comprehend, not to respond. So many people are, as somebody else is talking to them, your mind is rolling on what you can come back with. So you're not even comprehending what they're trying to say. You're hearing a few words, like, and then you come right back and they're doing the same thing and they come right back and nothing is accomplished. You can have a conversation like that 40 times and you don't get nothing done. I used to be that way with, my first wife, my girlfriend, Shannon. And now I sit down, it's like, okay, here's an issue we got to work through. Let's talk about this. And I listen. It's like, okay, I understand why this made you feel that way. I do. I didn't see it before. I was wrong. I apologize. I'm sorry. I won't do that again. But this is how I felt at the time. And I hadn't learned what I'd learned yet. So I'm sorry, and it's amazing the conversations we can have now. It is. It's simply freaking amazing.
I think it's
we don't get mad. We don't yell. Sometimes it hurts naturally. Truth hurts sometimes, but truth is always, it's going to hurt less than that lie when that lie's figured out.
This is the year of change and flip-flopping. It's going to be changed for the better. It's true. Yeah, it's true. They do. Everything does come back at you. You have to be very, very careful with your words and even your intentions. So the next time you're sitting down and you see something on social media that you don't like, watch your intentions, watch your words. Don't respond.
Yeah, you don't have to respond. You can keep scrolling. There's all kinds of stuff I see every day that I could go, not quite correct. Here's the actual wordage that was, but I'm like, no, ain't worth my time, ain't worth my effort. I'm not gonna let them drive me back down because they'll come back and comment and then I'll have to go see what they commented, and then it's like, and it just keeps escalating. So I just keep scrolling. Once in a while, I may be in an ornery mood, have a lot of good energy about me, and I'll, throw something out there. But I'll always end it with, hey, great, have a great day, have a great evening. I don't.
There's going to be some new platforms that are coming out. I don't even know who I said. I would give Facebook 6 months.
Yeah, I'm on Parlor. I got to finish getting it set up. I got a MeWe account. I got to get that finished set up. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. If YouTube goes out, I will probably do. I think Parlor has not Parlor.
Rumble.
Rumble, yes, that's where I'm going to be going. Is Rumble, with these videos. So if YouTube disappears. Which reminds me, I should probably get these videos downloaded and recorded onto DVDs.
I would definitely do it. I would get moved over to Rumble, especially before the 13th. I would get some things changed over just to safeguard,
Yeah.
because a Mercury square Uranus, I would back up all my password stuff. We're gonna have to go through this for 2 freaking years. 2 years. Change your passwords. Watch your back your stuff up before the 12th. It can go
Yeah.
down.
Anytime Mercury goes into retrograde, you want to back your stuff up, back your
That's
phone up, back your computer up. Anything that you want to save, you might want to back up because Mercury has been scientifically proven to mess with electronics.
and when Uranus goes direct on the 14th, look for earthquakes and volcanoes.
It's Patron is really good with this stuff. It may seem weird. It's orange mango body armor. It's the bomb. Just
I
saying.
love Patron. It's the best. Yes, people need. Yeah, I know he does. He needs Herbert. I'm gonna need to change the name. We're gonna have to change the name of the planets because we're gonna have to talk about this for 2 years. 2 freaking years. You'll be in a Pluto return.
People talk about Uranus, people talking about Uranus. I mean, it's potato, but it just
Just laugh.
sometimes I just gotta
Uranus
giggle.
explode on us. Uranus is gonna really like.
Should we have plenty of toilet paper with
No
with everything about Uranus?
outages right now. I don't think so. I don't. Is there? Can you believe we went through toilet paper shortages? Who does that?
Now this is interesting. I was reading a story and I got notes somewhere. I don't know where I put them. But Nostradamus said, I think after conjunction, there was going to be famine. There is famine right now. People were going to be, hoarding things. Who knew it was going to be freaking toilet paper? Everybody thought he was talking food. Well, guess what? There was a hoarding. It was toilet paper.
Nostradamus. I just looked to see what Nostradamus said about 2020, and he predicted wars. But you know what? If you look at the quadrants, if you look at Nostradamus's quadrants and how they interpret them and what he said, it's like reading the book of Revelations in the Bible. It's like, what? How did you get war out of that? Like
Yeah.
Nostradamus said, the buffalo sat on the road, and they're like, oh, that means we're going to war with Russia. And it's like, what? No. Somebody, you got to really read that stuff.
In a way, we are a war. We're at a war of minds right now. You got the left side versus the right side. The two sides are at war with each other, but it's a war of words. It's not a war of swords or bullets. It's a war of words and ideals.
I'll tell you what the war is going to be, and I think what's going to unite this country and the people better realize the war is going to be with China. It's going to be with CCP. I know. Uranus. Our war is going to be with if they're China.
We've been at war with China for a while. Just nobody knew it. Trump is trying to fix some of that with fixing the trade deficits and keeping our money from going over there, keeping them from stealing our secrets, keeping them from stealing scientists. There's a big operation that China's got trying to get our intel to scientists. They pay a lot of money out for that. I know what the name of it is, and I can't think of it right now. But it's been happening, and it's still happening. There's talk of ships and subs stationed off our shores right now. If Biden gets in, they're going to attack. If Trump gets in, I think they're just going to go home. I don't know if that's true. It's just what I've heard. It's very possible, but I don't have any proof of it.
We just like end of January. We should, there are the energy is there for that. I know is really interesting. The quadrants are they're very, very interesting.
Yeah,
But
I've read some of them, and it's
how they
very.
interpret them, though, is
What's
kind
that?
of funny. How they interpreted them, though, like the scholars, it's like the eagle flew west. Oh, that means Russia is going to drop a bomb. What?
Or it could be that America is going to expand west. You know, America, the eagle. It's all in how your own mind works, and depending on what's happening at the time, you can interpret it any way you want to.
Yeah.
But what he did say, after this time is it's happening. It's just in a different weird way.
Well, and with astrology, the energy is there. It can do this or that. So just use it to your advantage. Um, doesn't mean it's going to happen because we have free will. We don't know
Right.
what's.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, girl, it's about 8:30. I know you got to get your stuff done so you can get up and get.
Got to get ready for your other show. I want to watch it. When is your next show?
Well, I was just going to put a statement up in the comments here.
Ooh.
There it is. Tomorrow night, Howie and I have the honor of being on Jeff Presley's show, Bridging the Gaps. It's either 7 or 8. I can't remember. I think it's 8. I'm not sure. Bridging the Gaps. He's got a Facebook page there. If you haven't, go check him out. His shows are amazing. His wife was actually on the thread too. Come on, brain. Come on, brain. Come on, Shelly. Presley. She's got a show that she does the night after his. Sometimes they will coincide. They will finish talking about Jeff's show on her show. I love watching them. I try not to ever miss them because every time I learn something. And so we're gonna kind of do a roundtable thing tomorrow night. It's gonna be them and me and Howie. So it could get very interesting. We are probably going to get political. I'm just going to throw that out there now.
Respect.
And, the conspiracies that are going on, a lot of them aren't conspiracies. It's true. I just, it's hard to prove it. How do I know? Because Spirit's telling me. I feel it here. I feel it here. I know. Oh, yep. Thank you. Sherry just actually put the Facebook page in the comments. Thank you very much, Sherry. Appreciate that.
I think it's wonderful.
Give it a like. Two very amazing individuals. Very amazing. Plethora of knowledge. I pale in comparison to them.
Stop. Well, have a great evening.
Okay, I will do that.
Thank
you, everybody, for jumping on tonight and the comments. And we love to. I know I get behind on them, but I love to read them. Tonight, the conversation was just going. I didn't have a chance to actually read a lot of them. I like to do that, but we'll work on that. And thank you to anybody that watches later. I am also putting this out on YouTube, so there is that. The Otter's Den on YouTube. Yep, and I'm gonna look into Rumble. I'm gonna do that either later tonight or tomorrow when I'm at work. And just in case Facebook and YouTube disappear,
I would do it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to stay in contact, it might not, with anybody they have on Facebook. Might not be a bad idea to reach out. Hey, here's my number.
Right. Or get on Rumble. Just
yeah,
spread the word that you'll be live on Rumble.
Yep. I am on Parler and MeWe, so if you're on there, look me up. And I've tried looking for somebody, and it's hard to find people on those things.
It's
Mental,
new. It's
yeah,
something new. There's different Facebooks out there too. I've looked at a bunch of different ones. I just haven't found. I'm really kind of lazy, and I just don't want to move everything over. And it's just, but I know that the end for Facebook is coming. I just know it. Um, there's too many. There's a lot of lawsuits, and I think people
yeah,
are just done.
yeah, yeah. They're moving on because of all the censorship and the fact checking, and you can't fact check the fact checkers. You can't rebuttal. You know, that's one thing I'm not happy with is you can't contact the fact checkers and say, you know what, you're wrong on this, and I can prove it to you. Here's this evidence. You can't do that.
Well, they're getting sued, and they're losing actually now. So
Yeah,
I mean, how many times can you get sued for $450 million and settle and live through all those suits?
yeah, yeah. It's going to get interesting. But on that note,
All
again,
right,
thank
hon.
you
Have a
everybody.
great week.
Night, Joni.
Good
And
night, hon.
we will see you here in 2 weeks. Me and Joni will be back in 2 weeks. And until then, I'll see probably some of you tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch.
All right, perfect.
Bye, hon.
All right, night, everybody. Thanks. Guess I better hit the end broadcast button.